Today, we're going to shine a spotlight on one of the body's most incredible, yet totally overlooked powerhouses. It's an organ that works nonstop, behind the scenes, and, without it, we just couldn't survive. We're talking about the liver.
So let me ask you this. We hear all the time about our hearts, our brains, right? But what about the organ that's juggling over 500 vital functions? From fighting off germs to literally giving you the energy to get out of bed? Yep, that unsung hero is your liver.
All right, so let's properly meet the hero of our story. First up, we're going to get to know the liver's basic layout and figure out why its location in the body is just so incredibly strategic. First things first, where is this thing? Well, it's a pretty major piece of real estate, tucked away in the upper right side of your belly, right under your diaphragm. And it's no accident it's there. It's neighbors with your stomach, kidneys, and intestines, which is the perfect spot for it to do all its jobs. Now, this is where it gets really cool. The liver has this totally unique blood supply. It's not just fed by one source, but two. You've got the hepatic artery, which brings in fresh, oxygen-rich blood, just like any other organ, but the portal vein, now that's the real game changer. It brings blood straight from your gut, loaded with all the nutrients from your food, but also potentially a lot of junk, toxins, bacteria, you name it. This two-way system is exactly what makes the liver the body's ultimate security checkpoint. So now that we know where it is, let's get into what it does. And I'm telling you, if the liver had a LinkedIn profile, it would be endless. In this section, we're just going to scratch the surface of its most critical roles. First up, the job it's most famous for, being the body's master detox center. Every single drop of blood that leaves your stomach and intestines has to pass inspection by the liver before it's allowed to go anywhere else. So what does that inspection process actually look like? Well, the liver breaks down medications, alcohol, and other potentially harmful stuff it finds in your blood. It also does this amazing bit of chemistry. It takes toxic ammonia, which is just a natural byproduct of using protein, and turns it into a totally harmless substance called urea, which your kidneys can then easily get rid of. Pretty neat, huh? But the liver is so much more than just a filter. It's also the body's central energy warehouse, and it's managing your fuel supply 24/7. Think of it like a biological battery. When you eat, your liver pulls extra sugar, or glucose, out of your blood and stores it away for later. Then, maybe between meals or when you're working out, it releases that stored glucose back into your bloodstream to keep your energy levels nice and stable. It's this constant, delicate balancing act. And if being a filter and a battery wasn't enough, it's also a high-output manufacturing plant, a protein factory to be specific. I mean, this factory is just constantly churning out stuff your body absolutely needs. It makes critical proteins for your blood, it produces cholesterol and other special proteins to help carry fats around your body, and, this one's a big one, it makes the factors that allow your blood to clot when you get a cut. Okay, so we've definitely established the liver is a hero. But what happens when this silent workhorse is in trouble? How would we even know? Well, in our next section, we're going to look at how doctors read the warning lights. Usually, the first step is a set of blood tests called liver function tests, or LFTs. Basically, it's a panel that measures different enzymes and proteins connected to the liver. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Well, here's the twist. According to a detailed review in Stat Pearls, the name liver function tests is, well, it's kind of wrong. It's a misnomer. And this is the real aha moment. These tests don't really tell you how well the liver is functioning. Instead, they're more like damage indicators, pointing to where an injury might be happening. Reading these tests is all about recognizing patterns. For instance, if certain enzymes like ALT and AST are really high, it suggests there's direct damage happening to the liver cells themselves. But if other markers like ALP and bilirubin are up, it points to a totally different problem, maybe a blockage in the bile ducts. It's like being a detective, using these chemical clues to figure out what's going on. So if LFTs mainly show damage, what really tells us how well the liver is working? It all comes back to the liver's job as a factory. The true test of its function is its output. Can it still manufacture that key protein, albumin? Is it still making those blood clotting factors? When the levels of those things start to drop, that's when you know the factory is in real trouble. All right, now for what I think is the most fascinating part of this whole story, the immune paradox. This is where the liver's job gets unbelievably complex and just brilliant. So on one hand, the liver is an aggressive frontline warrior for your immune system. It is packed with the body's biggest army of phagocytic cells. These are specialized cells that literally eat pathogens for breakfast. It's on high alert all the time, screening every single thing that comes up from your gut. But here's the paradox. The liver's true superpower isn't just its ability to fight, it's knowing when not to fight. This idea is called immune tolerance, and it's absolutely crucial. You see, it has to maintain this incredibly delicate balance. On one side, it has to be aggressive, fighting off dangerous bacteria and viruses. But at the exact same time, it has to learn to ignore the millions of harmless bits of food and even our own dead cells that are constantly passing through. Every second, it's deciding, friend or foe, threat or no threat. And when that amazing balancing act fails, well, the consequences can be huge. If the liver loses that tolerance, the immune system can get confused and actually start attacking the liver itself. That's what's happening in autoimmune liver diseases. And that brings us to our final section, a hero's only weakness. Here, we're going to look at the liver's unbelievable resilience and its one single critical vulnerability. I mean, this is something straight out of a comic book. The liver has a superpower that's almost unique among our organs. It can regenerate. It can literally regrow and repair itself even after taking a serious hit. It just reinforces how heroic this organ truly is. But every hero has a breaking point. When the damage is too severe or goes on for too long, that incredible regeneration just can't keep up, and that leads to complete liver failure. And when that happens, there's no backup plan. There's no dialysis machine for the liver. The only option is a transplant. So just remember this, that tireless, multitasking, regenerating hero is working for you right now in complete silence. It's detoxing, it's powering, and it's protecting you. Which really just leaves us with one final, pretty important question. How can you protect